Relocation affects marriages negatively. If I got $1 for how many times I hear this, I should be way richer by now. But no worries, I understand it. I think it's the pressure. I think it's the pressure that comes with moving, like literally packing up your entire life and moving to a new country. However, what we need to remember, and what I want to establish today, is that there's a reason for pressure. Think about gold. Think about diamond. Before they became gold that we appreciate this much, they had to go through fire. They had to be beat left, right, and center. They had to be subjected to pressure. And I think that's what pressure does. Pressure is meant to refine us and not to break us. Okay? And that is the perspective that I have when it comes to whatever challenges that couples are faced with, that families are faced with when it comes to relocation and the family dynamics. And so today, we're going to be looking at navigating the family dynamics after relocation and how relocation actually affects marriages. Let's get right into it, guys. My name is Ella. Do well to subscribe if you haven't. This is a very interesting channel, and we have a bunch of interesting value-adding stuffs to talk about. Okay. There are challenges, indeed, and there are opportunities as well. I think I'd like to start with the opportunities first. First opportunity I feel that we have, as married couples who have relocated, would be ample time to bond. You remember that life where if you were living in one of the big cities back at home, you probably have to wake up at 4 a.m. in order to beat the traffic, make it to work, go all the way to work. And then sometimes you get to come back by 10 p.m., 12 midnight sometimes. And by 4 a.m. again, you are up and running. You see that life, that time, especially for those who do 9 to 5, it was a huge challenge. And I can tell you that you do not have to deal with that a lot of times when you travel, especially because you're going to a place where the mode of working here is mostly hybrid. I remember one day somebody saw a picture, like a video of the setting of our office here at home, and he saw that husband and I, my hubby and I, have just one table, and so our chairs are side by side each other. And the first thing he said that day was, "What? You guys don't fight and eat each other up when you're working together?" And I had a good laugh. I think it's just perspective. If you look at it and you believe that, then maybe that would be your reality. But if you look at that opportunity to work from home and spend more time with your spouse as an opportunity to bond, then I don't think it will annoy you that much. I don't think that this will be the outcome. I don't think you will have friction and break each other's heads and always argue and fight. My best days of the week are days when Bobo is working from home. Oh my God, those are the funnest days for us. And I've heard him say that to somebody else also. So it's not a one-sided feeling. I think that this place also gives you the opportunity to be creative with how you spend time with your family. You know what I mean? And that's because you really have to be creative. You literally have to think outside of the box. You have to think around how you want to spend time with your family, how you want to go on dates, how you want to take the kids out, how you want to vacation. It gives you ample options to choose from. There are a lot of experiences that would have been luxurious for some people by virtue of where they live, but sort of like in first world countries, for example, some of these things are daily amenities. There's nothing luxurious about it. You know what I mean? So you can engage in certain quality ways of bonding without spending too much, without breaking the bank, without taking a chunk of your savings and of your earnings. You can actually have fun on the go in the most affordable manner. And the third opportunity I think you have is that you have the opportunity to travel the world together. Relocate to Canada, within 3 years, you become a citizen, for example. That is access to over 183 countries in the world. Do you know what that means, you guys? It means you can now plan. You can now sit down and plan your yearly vacation. Set money aside to actually travel the world with your spouse. This is a huge opportunity. You get to travel the world with the one you love. And for me, that's a big opportunity. Except you don't want to travel the world with your spouse and you want to travel the world with someone else. And then we should begin to ask and say, why would you rather travel the world with someone else that isn't your spouse? Anyways, that is conversation for another day. Today, we are looking at opportunities, but also these opportunities don't in any way take away the fact or take away from the fact that there are challenges as well. And so I'm going to talk a bit about those challenges and how to go around those challenges as a family so that ultimately everyone is living happy, fulfilled lives in Canada. Okay? The first challenge that I see, and I get the feeling that 30% or as high as 40% of some of the challenges that couples face stems from this particular challenge. And that challenge is the fact that relocation requires of you malleability and adaptability. Like, it literally demands it of you. Like, it demands and requires that you must be malleable, you must be adaptable. And this is especially for us who are coming from a certain culture and a certain background. Trust me, I'm not going to take away the fact that we have our culture as Africans, and the truth is that it's a good culture. I mean, everyone's culture is good. And when it comes to husband and wife dynamics, especially for people who are mostly traditional, that are very traditional in their thinking and very rooted in culture, there's probably a way we think and approach marriage, and that's okay. Except that you need to be really flexible when you come here. We do not have help. Back at home, which is also one of the very good culture, it's so easy for you to get help. I remember my friend used to tell me how back in Nigeria, she had about 4 helps in the house at the same time. A lot of things were so affordable. I remember when I was single as well, I had a washing machine, but I would still pay someone to come and do my laundry and then iron because I didn't want to touch clothing at all. I'm not joking, guys. So I'm really saying this to say that there's a whole lot that you can do to take stress off of you where we are coming from without breaking the bank. You just give birth to a baby. It will take a whole village to raise your baby and to take care of you. Your neighbors will rally round, your family will rally round, you have support. The sense of community at home is so good. But it's different here. But there are some women who are not even domestic. There are some men who are not domesticated. I think it's domesticated now, not domestic. And the thing is, we would all need to rise up to the occasion. All of us. We all have to be adaptable. And the moment that is taken out of the equation, then you begin to have unnecessary friction in the home. Very unnecessary ones. The second thing for me is relocation also requires you to function as a unit. I mean, man and woman. If you're somebody who before now would not usually, maybe your spouse doesn't even know what you earn. Your spouse doesn't have access to your finances. Your spouse has no idea what's going on with your finances. Well, I don't think the same thing is obtainable here. There's a reason why income is called household income. Because you're required to function as a unit. You're required to put resources together. You're required to base your expenses off of each other's reality. You know what I mean? So there's no individuality as it were, especially financially. So people who are not used to, talking about money together as a family, you're going to run into a lot of issues here because then again, I don't think there's anything wrong with discussing money with your spouse. If anything, You help each other, you balance each other out. For example, I'm the spontaneous one in my home. Oh my God, I can do expenses without thinking. But I guess I learned to prioritize my savings and investment first, and then I can then do my guilt-free spending. But that guilt-free spending, I'm still gonna do it. I think that marriage is designed to balance out each other. Marriage is just designed to make you function better as a family unit when you function as one unit. The final challenge that I see here would be you might need to adjust your love language. You know how my love language is gifts, my love language is quality time, my love language is touch, my love language, whatever your love language is. I don't think you need to adjust it. I just think that everybody needs to infuse acts of service as a love language. Personally, I think so. Okay, I personally think so. Everyone needs to infuse, both the giver and the receiver of the love. Everyone needs to infuse acts of service as a love language. If you can infuse acts of service as a love language, it is going to significantly reduce the challenges that you are facing. You know what I mean? I meant for you to learn something. That was my original intention. And I hope you learned something. What I'm trying to say is the fact that you can have a peaceful home when you relocate. If anything, relocation should improve your relationship with your spouse. If anything, it should improve it. If it's not doing that, think about everything that I have said. Try to get the root cause of your issues and fix it. I know that marriage is a sensitive topic, but generally speaking, I think that relocation, if anything, should add value to your experience, should enrich your experience as a couple. You should enrich it. You shouldn't diminish it. You shouldn't take away from it. You shouldn't reduce it. You shouldn't have a better yesterday just because you relocated. Deal with the issues. And I wish you guys the very, very, very best, everyone who's listening to me. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe if you haven't. And I'm gonna catch you on the next episode of Sessions with Ella. Take care.